What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily Rewind. It's where we go back a week and give you the past 7 days of tech news in one single video. And in this video, there was a lot of interesting, fun, cool stuff from the Galaxy Z Fold 5. A bunch of official information has come out and leaked out about that phone. The Z Flip 5 as well, official information. OnePlus Fold, what a great week for this. This phone seems to get better and better and better. But also the OnePlus 12, which is their slab candy bar phone, and so much more. So enjoy this week, and we'll see you in the next one. First story of an only story of the day is about the Z Flip 5 and Z Fold 5 and some official information that's been leaked out via Ishan Argarwal. So let's see what he has to say about these devices. He's saying he has seen a lot of Galaxy Z series promo material just now. He's saying that the Z Flip 5 cover screen will support full keyboard input for message replies, a wallet app, and a very customizable UI widgets too. Now, that's great that we're gonna have full keyboard support on that front display to be able to type things and reply to things and all that stuff. A wallet app so you can launch your digital wallet and pay for things, and very customizable UI and widgets. So Samsung's known for their customization, so to take full customization from that outside display and add widgets for more functionality of this, it's making it a true second display on that Z Flip 5. The Z Fold 5 will come with S Pen case, is now thinner, so if you get the S Pen case, it'll be thinner, with a small slot to insert and remove the pen easily. So if you use the S Pen on the Z Fold 5 along with their S Pen case, the new one anyway, it's gonna be easier to remove and to put in, and also thinner. He goes on to say the S Pen case comes in some funky colors: a light blue case with neon green like S Pen, a beige case with copper colored S Pen. Accessories across the board have been refined. According to the people who've used this device, overall experience wasn't different at all, except for the gap. Someone asked him if the Fold 5 design has changed in any way, and he confirmed that not much. Its gapless design is all it is, very similar to the Fold 4. The official covers make it feel as if it has an S23 series like camera bump, which it is not actually the case. So some things to keep in mind are the Flip 5 is definitely, without the doubt, and continues to be the bigger of the two upgrades out of the two phones and the more exciting of the two phones. I also want to stress again, Fold 5, if you're looking to only get a Samsung Foldable, out of the Fold line, and you're not sure which one to get the Fold 5. It's gonna be the best out of all the Fold phones they released. But when you can start comparing that phone to the Pixel Fold and the OnePlus Fold that's upcoming as well, that's when you should start to potentially look elsewhere outside of the Samsung line, if possible. Samsung phone's still gonna be really great, that Fold phone. It's just the outside display and the cameras just haven't been anything really to write home about, at least in my eyes. And then if you're looking at flipping phones, I should say, you should definitely be looking at the Fold 5, or even this, which will probably end up being less expensive, the Motorola Razr Plus. I've done a video on this. This is a pretty spectacular phone as well. Really nice. Impressed with this phone as well. Gotta put these bad boys in. I'm gonna stay on screen just to make myself a little bit smaller so you can barely hear me and see me. Just kidding. What about the OnePlus 12 spec? So first of all, this phone is a spec beast, and this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna have OnePlus 12 is gonna be the name of it. It's gonna be the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which is gonna be freaking crazy. The 8 Gen 2 was crazy with performance and battery life. 8 Gen 3 is supposed to take it, again, to another level with performance and battery life. 6.7-inch AMOLED display, 2K resolution, 120 hertz refresh rate. So kind of par for the course with a flagship phone these days, the size, the resolution, and the refresh rate. 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, ton of RAM in this thing, and that's what you want. You want a lot of RAM in this. You can run multiple apps, thing won't slow down, apps won't close out. That's what RAM is great for. 256 gigabytes of UFS 4.0 storage is the fastest read-write storage currently available for phones. And you might look at 256 and say it's not enough for me, I need 512 or I need 1 terabyte. 256 is definitely a real sweet spot with what we got right now, and again, kind of par for the course for a flagship phone. 5400 milliamp battery. This is humongous, especially on a flagship phone these days. Companies are they are adding battery life to their phones, but not at this extent. So that's a huge battery. So this thing's probably gonna have amazing, amazing battery life with the HN3 and the 5400 milliamps of battery. But even if it didn't, 100-watt wired charging. This thing's gonna charge probably in about 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or something like that. From 0 to 100, it's gonna be very, very fast. But then it can also wirelessly charge at 50 watts, which again is absolutely amazing. I'm loving seeing these wired and wireless charging speeds. 50 megapixel primary camera, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 64 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom. So really high megapixel cameras. You know, are they gonna be great? They're gonna be just average? We'll have to wait and see, get our hands on that. 32 megapixel front camera, again, beautiful to see that. Alert slider, kind of like what the iPhone has and what the OnePlus phone has had for a really long time. In-display fingerprint sensor, the display will go right underneath the display. Fingerprint will be anyway, I should say. And it'll run Oxygen OS 14 and Android 14. Now this phone should be released in China first in December and then make its way to the rest of the world by February. So we're still kind of a bit of a way out, but it's looking super beastie. I'm loving what OnePlus is doing, not only with their OnePlus Open Fold phone, but this as well. It's like they're not, I feel like they're not really cutting corners on the specs anyway. So very much looking forward to their new phones coming out very, very soon. OnePlus Open Fold will be out announced in August, released probably in September, and then the OnePlus 12 in, like I said, December and February by the rest of the world. The question story of the day has to do with the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Flip 5 and some official information coming out about these two phones. Now, we know that the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is not seemingly going to be a big upgrade in the Z Flip 5. One of the biggest upgrades to it is that outside display. It'll now be a lot larger than it previously was, that new cover display. But what do those two phones have in common that is official about these phones? Well, TM did a blog post on Samsung's website, and TM, you can see right here, it's President and Head of Mobile Experience Business at Samsung. He has expanded his responsibilities as head of Samsung's MX business to lead our corporate design center. My career as an engineer taught me that the most sublime designs are intertwined with technological innovation. But basically what he's coming on to say is that they've raised the standards of foldable smartphone ergonomics. A difference of 1 millimeter in the device's thickness may not sound like a big change, but every gram and millimeter in a foldable device requires an engineer breakthrough. It demands craftsmanship with passion. When done well, the benefit to users is huge. That's why we've innovated to make our latest foldables slimmer and lighter than our previous generations. Now, that's not terribly exciting to me. When at this point with what I want with a foldable phone, trust me, I would love. That's great, but it's not what I personally want. I've said it many times. I want bigger displays, especially on the outside of the new Samsung foldables, which we're not going to get. The inside display, I wouldn't mind if it's bigger. It doesn't have to be, but I wouldn't mind it. I want better cameras, better battery life. I want all of that stuff. Those are like very important, and better, more constant performance. I want it to be a speed demon all the time. I don't want it to slow down. I want it to be feeling like the fastest phone on the market. And some of those things haven't always been the best for the Z Fold 4. Maybe in the foldable game, maybe up to the top, but definitely not the best at all times. So it really comes down to, okay, cool, you're making it thinner and lighter, but give us something that people want. You've kept the same design for basically the whole generation, whole lifespan of this phone. It doesn't look all that different in a lot of ways versus the original Galaxy Fold. We're now 5 generations in, and again, it barely looks different than that. So it's kind of a turnoff that they haven't really changed that much. They're making it thinner and lighter, and they're minimally improving things, but it's nothing massive over the years. You point out one massive thing. You could say, okay, they added S Pen support. Great, they added it. They added water resistance. Great, they added it. But these aren't things that will change the user experience a little bit. The S Pen will. But in general, you want to be able to not have to open that phone up all the time to fully enjoy it. So that's my main point on that. But I mean, we'll get there with the Fold 6 most likely, but this generation, not so much. And our last story is about the Galaxy Tab S9. If you remember, the S9 series is supposed to be water resistant. Well, a new video has leaked on Reddit. I'll link it down below if you want to watch it. I'm not going to post it though. Basically what it talks about and shows is a video. It looks like I think they're in Korea, and it shows these guys outside of their store with a Galaxy Tab S9 in hand, pouring water over it, showing that it's water resistant. And that's actually a great thing to have in a tablet. It's not amazing, it's not a breakthrough feature, you definitely want to buy it, but if you have kids and you get this tablet, you're like, okay, it's one less thing I have to be concerned with if they drop it in the toilet or pour water on it or juice or something like that. It should be pretty much protected with the water resistance package on there. But yeah, it's not too bad, you know, adding the extra feature in there. The tablets in general, I mean, if you really think about like what they personally need to add, at this point, it's just like, I don't know, maybe get better and better performance, especially to play more AAA games. But I don't know, I feel like tablets are very, very mature at this point, especially on the Samsung side. Samsung still, in my eyes, makes the best tablets on the Android side. Galaxy S24 Ultra and the future of the Ultra line. As you know, Samsung got rid of their Galaxy Note series a few years ago at this point, and they've integrated the S Pen into the S23, 24 Ultra phones, and we have this, so it's in there. It's just like the Note, but it just has a different name, and a lot of people love it. A lot of people like myself, I could care less, to be honest with you, if it's in there or not. I'd rather, honestly, probably it not be in there, and I'll give you some reasons why, because that's what we're all about. Is it time that Samsung removes the S Pen from the S line and just completely, you can still have S Pen support, but maybe house it on the back of the phone? Well, I got this idea because I saw a tweet from Ice Universe who said, I wish the S24 Ultra removed the S Pen and added it to a protective case just like the Fold 5. Because the S Pen takes up a lot of space, which affects the battery capacity and camera specifications. And we don't use the S Pen every day. If the S Pen is removed, the battery is increased to 5,800 milliamps, or a better camera, or a better speaker, or the phone is narrower and easier to hold. Would you like it? Do you agree with this proposal? And you can see that they voted 46% agreed, 54% said disagree with that. Now I'm in the camp of agreeing with him. I don't use it already all that much, and if I had the option to still have it, but have it on a case just like the Z Fold 5, I'd be okay with that. I probably wouldn't even buy a case that did it, but you know, I'd be okay with that option. But to have a much bigger battery and have to charge it maybe only once every 2 days, potentially, with a battery that size and a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in there, I mean, that's a lot of battery optimization and performance, but at the same time, a huge battery inside, but also making the phone thinner and lighter and easier to hold, and giving you a better experience just in a physical sense of it, and putting better cameras on there. That is all things that are important to me. I want something, that's one of the main things I would love to have, is great battery life, great cameras, fast charging. I want a beautiful display. I want great performance. And you know, those are some of the things that I want, especially on a candy bar phone if that was my main phone. And they could do that. And they can do some of that stuff. They can increase the battery a little bit as they can get better with engineering the S Pen around the physicality of the phone. But I would be completely fine with it. I don't think they're going to do it. And the reason I don't think they're going to do it is because they got rid of the Note line. If they do something like this, I think it would be something in the future. I'm talking like 2 or 3 years from now. I don't see them doing it anytime soon though. And you know, do they need to? I mean, let's be honest, the S23 Ultra didn't have the biggest battery in it, but it still had a pretty big size battery in it, and it has the S Pen inside, and it still has really great battery life overall with it. But you know, we can always make things better if we remove things. You look at Apple removing a lot of things on the phone. They removed the SIM card. They've removed the headphone jack over the years. They've never had adding external storage to their phones. They've made the charging ports smaller throughout the years as they've gone through it and doing, you know, things like that. So, you know, there's always companies removing things to add other things instead. And this is one of those things I would personally totally be comfortable with. I have an absolutely massive story about the OnePlus Open Fold, and prepare to be blown away. This is going to be the least expensive foldable phone in the Western world, and it's gonna have some of the best specs of any phone in the Western world. So without further ado, let's jump into this information. Now, all this information is coming from Max Jamber. Follow his Twitter account. Guys, I'll link it down below. But ultimately, he's saying, OnePlus Open, he opens up a treasure trove of information. Is it any good? Yes. Can it compete with others? Yes. Does it look good? Yes, if you like big cameras. Periscope camera? Yes, 3x zoom on there. Form factor, it's like the Oppo Find N2, so we'll talk about that in a moment. Launch August 29th, which is just right around the corner. That's when it's going to be launching. It shouldn't be released, I don't think, the same day, but the launch August 29th. Colors will come in black and green, and the price, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So going back to the other question where it said should clarify the form factor means aspect ratio. So the phone will be bigger. It has bigger displays, 7.8 inch on the inside, 6.3 inch on the outside, but the form factor is very similar to the Oppo Find N2. Will it be available in the USA? Yes. Software that'll run is called OS 13.2 Fold. So it's going to be their own kind of software integration of their OnePlus software, but for folding phones. And then the price. So price will be closer to 2,000 pounds or 1,500 pounds. And he put less. And I want to go talk to you guys about that because this is absolutely amazing. I got some further information, a little bit of clarification in that it sounds like this phone, per his information, is going to start at 1,499 pounds. Now, there's a good chance that could equate over to the same in American money at $1,499. But it might not. It might, because the pounds are actually worth more than dollars. So they might have to translate it and put it into what it is in dollars. But expect this phone to be, at least in American dollars as well, anywhere most likely between $1,499 and $1,599. This is $200 to $300 cheaper than the Pixel Fold, and most likely even more so than the Galaxy Z Fold 5, which is supposed to get a price increase. This is absolutely freaking insane right now, guys. This is major, major, major information. And when you mix in that it has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, huge displays running at 2K, 120 Hertz, 67 watt fast charging, it's looking like a freaking amazing, amazing, amazing phone, guys. I'm dying for this one. It's gonna be a super dope phone. August 29th is the launch. Your first story of the day is a bit of bad news, unless you love paying more money to companies, and that is the seemingly a price increase for the base version of the Galaxy Tab S9. So the information that's coming out is from Ishan Agarwal saying that the Tab S9 vanilla model might be getting a price bump in the US and everywhere. An official listing for $919 for the Wi-Fi 256 gig variant probably means about $850. S8 was $699 starting price. OLED displays clearly coming at a price. So it's seemingly, what is that, $150 more for the base version of the Galaxy Tab S9. That's not good, man. Are they raising the prices on everything and just don't want people to buy these things? I don't know what they're doing. With price increases on, at least rumors so far, on the S9 and then on the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Z Flip 5. What is going on? Why are you guys raising the price? Do you need to? I'm assuming they need to because they need to make more money, but this is absolutely crazy. Hopefully this doesn't come true, but he's got a good track record. Next up, Samsung of India, on their Twitter account, they actually put some official looks at the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and they show it off, just like kind of what angles it's at, and it says, what do you think the symbol means? Drop your comments down below. You can obviously tell it's a Z Flip 5. I don't know about the symbol. It looks like a cross of some sort, but join the flip side. And then they have another one where that one is a heart and whatever, cool, you know, love the Z Flip 5. It says, let me put my glasses on. Not saying yes or no, stay tuned to find out for the, you know, it says what time it's at. So basically that's right around the corner to watch the unveiling of the Z Flip 5 and Fold 5. It's next week, actually, so we're right around the corner from the release date of this stuff. Of the day is actually a bit of exciting news. As you know, Samsung Unpacked is next week, like literally days from now. And well, not even next week, because we're kind of in, if you count Sunday as the first day, this is really next week already. So in a few days, right, Samsung is going to announce a bunch of products, from their Galaxy Tabs to their new flip and fold phones, a watch, some earphones. Those products, at least some of them, may actually be available right on the day that they launch them, or at least maybe even the next day. So this is what's coming out. And I'm not gonna show the photo because I don't know if I'll end up getting copyright strikes, so I'll just show you the tweet. And if you wanna see the pictures yourself, click on the link down below. But basically, Taran says that the Galaxy Tab S9 has been spotted in stores. Check out these actual product package images and any plans of getting one. S9 Plus Ultra rumored specs, 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and dynamic AMOLED displays. But it does show a picture of the Tab S9 Ultra in a store casing. So it looks like there's a high probability you're gonna be able to order and get these tablets right when they announce it, or immediately after, or the next day, or I don't think you're going to have to wait 2 weeks for some of these products. So cool stuff. It looks like it's going to be coming out very, very soon. Next two stories about the Galaxy Z Fold 5. We've been speaking about the crease on the inside of that display. We've spoken about how thin it is, but what are the actual percentages of that versus, say, something like the Galaxy Z Fold 4? And is it even going to be that noticeable? Well, this information's coming from Ice Universe, who says, first of all, that the Z Fold 5 is 16% thinner than the Fold 4, only 13.4 millimeters, but still thicker than Chinese products. But the texture of the Z Fold 5 still maintains a high level. It does not look cheap, and the gold version looks better than the Z Fold 4. So it will be thinner, but only by about 16%. Also, the Z Fold 5 uses a water drop hinge, as we know. Its crease has not widened on that display, and it has become 15% shallower. So he's saying it's a good thing for those who use the Fold 4. The crease, you'll feel better with that Fold 5. The crease is not a big deal, but again, if you're concerned with that, it'll be a little less noticeable on the display. Not a huge amount, but again, about 15% on there. So what do you guys think? Do you think the Fold 5 needs to get thinner and thinner and the crease less and less? Let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's jump into our Q&A. And Silent Runner's asking me, how do you see your screen on time on a Pixel phone? So go into settings, and then it's in a weird spot. If you go into apps and then work your way down, it's towards the bottom. It's like the fourth one from the bottom. It says screen time. There you can go. You can find your screen on time right there. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below, #question, and then write your question in the comment and we'll answer it tomorrow's video. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road.